Oh my gosh, guys, not them cancelling wireless as a whole. As in, like, they couldn't get artists to replace Kanye, so they're cancelling wireless as a whole. Oh my gosh. They probably lost like a lot of money or something, because for them to cancel wireless as a whole, or maybe it is last minute to get like artists and stuff, because these things take time, but damn. I mean, don't these things come into check? Like, you know, when before they announce someone coming to the UK, like, don't they do like those proper checks to ensure that Kanye can even come to the UK, or any artist that they have? Like, this is actually mad.
Imagine this. You've been waiting for months. You've bought your ticket. You're ready for one of the biggest festivals of the year. Then suddenly, it's cancelled. And not because of weather, but because the main artist is allegedly being banned from entering the country. That's what people are saying about the Wireless Festival. And the artist at the center of it all? Kanye West. This situation is deeper than music, because now we're talking about culture consequences and entire communities being affected. What's up, guys? Welcome back to my channel. Today we're breaking down a situation that has gone way beyond music headlines. We're talking about a major festival possibly being disrupted, a global superstar facing restrictions, and a conversation that involves both the Black community and the Jewish community. So yeah, this is not a light topic, but we're going to talk about it honestly. Let's keep watching.
3-day wireless festival has officially been canceled since Kanye West was banned from the UK. This happened after Pepsi withdrew from the festival because Kanye was the headliner. And this is all happening because of the outrage of the Jewish community. Kanye West came out with a statement stating that his words may not matter, they can't fix what he's done and what he's said, but he was willing to sit down with the Jewish community to listen to the impact this has made on their lives. But you know what? I think this needs to be a lesson to us, to the Black community. I'm talking to my people now. It's wild to me that a group of people, that a small representation of the whole world's population is able to get a whole entire festival canceled over words. While us, the Black community, can watch whole corporations create systematic oppression within its hiring and marketing and sales, and we do absolutely nothing to stop it. I mean, there's what, 16 million Jewish people around the globe? There are 48 million Black Americans. Just Black Americans. Black people as a whole represent about 19% of the world's population. And we can't get a Target shut down. Ain't that some shit?
Wireless festival canceled after Kanye West is blocked from entering the UK. It's so funny to me how niggas could buy a whole island, play with little kids, and unalive them, and also mess with little girls, and still be president and be in high-power positions, and nothing happens to them. But a nigga saying something about what's going on in the world that has truth behind it is anti-Semitism. Okay? I just don't understand how everybody else could be forgiven, but when a Black man do something, oh my God, that's law. It's no way to ever come back from that. All of these companies that we support and we make rich, Pepsi, all these other companies that pulled out of this entire thing just because Kanye's name was attached to it because of something that happened to him. Let's just use it. When he was in mental duress, because ain't no reason why y'all do what y'all do on these little islands. But y'all holding this against this man when he done apologized already. Y'all don't even have to apologize. We in a world right now where the president could put previous presidents on the heads of monkeys in videos, and that's okay. But Kanye saying how he feels about something and his freedom of speech is undermined.
Because you can't cancel Kanye, you have to cancel Wireless Fest. He was going to sell out immediately. They're like, you know what? We can't even let him in the country. Why? He is anti-Semitic, which is so funny to me because the people that are banning him and trying to cancel him are currently rooting on a genocide. And also trying to root on a second genocide in Iran and Lebanon. The fact that you try to cancel him only makes him bigger because then people are just like, wait a second. So there's really only one group of people that you cannot criticize or talk crazy about and somehow bounce back. They will just eliminate your chances for traveling around the world. You can't even move, groove, vibe, slide to another country and sell it out. It's not like, oh, the numbers ain't gonna be good. No, this man gonna sell the fuck out immediately. And it's crazy because you know exactly why he made that song.
This is just me giving my personal opinion, being river true. No shade. Like, Kanye West, the community that Kanye West bothered after pulling all that Nazi shit, and the way how they packing him up, I'm not gagging because it's like, no shade. I wish that our community, and you would know what community it is, I wish y'all held a lot of people that say crazy shit about us and spread a lot of shit about us to everyone else accountable, like how they packing this nigga up. And it's the way how it's like, I can't get behind and defend him because there's no shade. He was bugging. And he said countless shit about our own people for years, for a very long time. And y'all let shit slide because the music's too good. But y'all see how them niggas is packing him up like that easy. Like I wish we moved like that sometimes with some people that infiltrate our community.
So Wireless Festival's officially been cancelled, and we've got to look at how this actually unfolded right before all of our eyes, right? Sponsors stepping away, political pressure building, and then the UK government stepping in directly. It makes you see just how much influence a single moment can carry and the risk that someone like Kanye West could potentially create. Because if one person can uncancel himself in spite of all that's going on around him, then the bar no one man should have all that power springs to mind. Because that's what this entire story has become about, right? One man, and about who actually has the power to move an outcome like this. Because by the end of this, you'll see that this didn't end just because of the artist. It ended because of something else entirely. And most people just haven't preed it yet. Now, I know there's going to be loads and loads of back and forth and debate happening around the continuity of cancel culture. I addressed this in my earlier video yesterday, so please feel free to have a look at that. But for this video, I want to focus on something slightly different here. And obviously, as I've previously discussed, right, I can understand why brands would want to disassociate from anti-Semitism as it's being referred to in this context. But what about in the instance where brands knew in advance? Because I came across this clip, which I'm going to play for you guys, of the CEO of Wireless Festival saying that multiple stakeholders were consulted ahead of the booking and no concerns were raised at that time. There was even a comment allegedly left under an Instagram post announcing the headliners where Pepsi said, what's better than 3 days?
Here's what's circulating right now. There are reports and strong online discussions suggesting that Wireless Festival may be facing cancellation. Kanye West may be restricted from entering the UK. Now, whether everything is confirmed or still developing, the reaction alone is huge. Because Kanye West isn't just an artist, he's a cultural figure. And when something like this happens to someone at that level, it becomes a global conversation. Let me ask you, do you think an artist's personal views should affect whether they can perform? Or should music stay separate from everything else? Now, we can talk about this situation without addressing the elephant in the room. Kanye West's recent statements and controversies. Some of the things he has said have been widely criticized, especially by members of the Jewish community. And that's important to acknowledge. Because when a group of people feels targeted and or disrespected, that's not something that can just be brushed off as celebrity drama. At the same time, there's also a strong reaction from parts of the Black community. Some people feel like Kanye is being held accountable. Others feel like he's being silenced or treated differently compared to others. And that's where the tension really comes in. Let's talk about the Black community perspective for a second. Because Kanye West is not just any celebrity. He's a Black artist who's had a massive influence on Black culture, music, and identity. For many people, watching his rise was inspiring. So when everything starts to fall apart publicly, it feels complicated. Some people are saying he needs to be held accountable for what he says. Others are saying, why is it that when black celebrities make mistakes, the consequence feels so extreme? And that's a conversation that goes beyond Kanye. It touches on history, media, and how different voices are treated in the public space. Now let's talk about the Jewish community perspective, because this is a key part of why the situation has escalated. When statements are seen as harmful or offensive to a group, especially a group with a long history of discrimination, people take that seriously. Institutions take that seriously, and governments, they respond to that. So from this perspective, this isn't about cancel culture. It's about protecting communities, setting boundaries, saying this is not acceptable. And that's why you're seeing strong reactions, not just from fans, but from organizations and leaders as well.
This has got to be one of the biggest own goals and like PR failures of like just stupid decisions that I've seen this year. I was trying to be a bit more balanced yesterday when I was talking about it, but the stupidity, I'm sorry, but the stupidity to think that this was going to fly in the UK, in this environment, after Glastonbury, after like a bunch of other festivals like Great Escape also had similar problems. And I think the festival director, Mr. Melvin Ben, I think his name, he must have just had dollar signs in his eyes. Like I reckon, I read just now that it's like £30 million they reckon that it's going to lose, cancelling the festival. And just like having the government get involved, which I was kind of obvious it was kind of going down that road because PM Keir Starmer had made a comment, Sadiq Khan had made a comment, all from the same party in the government. So huge own goal. This is the cost of stupid decisions and PR crises. I'm not going to say all of them come from stupid decisions, but like a lot of them are just risk failures and silly operational decisions. This is a risk failure. This is a huge risk failure.
So Wireless Festival has cancelled because Home Office doesn't agree with some of the views and things done by Kanye West in the midst of a mental breakdown. But before we get to that, I want to speak to the artists and the creatives specifically when it comes to the UK. There's a word that they hate to hear, especially at networking events, and that's ownership. Ownership. Because people don't want to put on the work. Because now when you have situations like this, when people own a festival, they've had to cancel it because of situations beyond their control. When you're not willing to put on your own events, when you're not willing to upload to your own platforms, and you're stood there cap in hand like Oliver Twist waiting for an opportunity in the invisible queue of visibility, what do you do now in situations like this? Because Wireless, as of now, hasn't said, oh, you know what, we're going to look for some UK talent and just book them and just keep it pushing. No, they wanted the big name, they wanted the American. Kanye West can't come over, whole festival cancelled. And I ask you, British creators, whether it be presenters, curators, DJs, artists, when things like this happen and the big brands can't do it, what do you do in these situations?
So as I mentioned at the end of my last video, the government has rejected Kanye West's ESTA because they're saying that the harm he'll bring to the Jewish community by being here outweighs the good his performances at Wireless will do. I just got another BBC notification. The Wireless organisers have said, okay, it's cancelled. They've cancelled Wireless. There's no way they don't have a backup artist. Of all the people in the world, surely even if you have a non-controversial person, you should get a backup because anything can happen. What do you mean you hired Kanye West and had no backup? Now you're cancelling the whole festival. Also, I thought Wireless had different headliners. Look, I'm not a festival girl, you can tell. But Kanye can't come, the festival's cancelled. And can I just shout out, I don't know what it's called, but basically, he said to the Jewish community, I know you're upset about what I did. Can we just have a meeting? Would that make things better? And they replied, they said, yeah, we can have a meeting, but only if you withdraw from Wireless. I love that. That was so C-word of them.
Wireless Festival is officially cancelled. It's not happening anymore. Wireless 2026, forget about it. And I just think it's so crazy how a whole festival is shut down because of this whole controversy. So if you didn't know, Kanye West was supposed to headline and they announced it I think like a week, maybe 2 weeks ago, and ever since then it's just been a lot of like drama online, and even Keir Starmer and the government have got involved and they were like, oh, you know, it's really concerning that they've booked him given that he said this and that. And I'm not gonna go into it. Like, we all know what Kanye said in the past, and it's not okay, let's be honest. But you need to understand that this whole festival cancelling is not entirely Kanye's fault, because Pepsi was one of Wireless Festival's biggest sponsors. And when you have a main sponsorship like Pepsi sponsoring the whole festival, the branding's everywhere, you need to understand that is a lot of money. Like, we are talking maybe millions of like pounds worth of sponsorships. Obviously, Pepsi came out and was like, oh, we don't agree with this booking, it's not within our values, rah, 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 rah. So they pulled out. Imagine being the organisers of Wireless now. People are hating online that you've booked Kanye. Some people are loving that you've booked Kanye. Some people have paid for tickets. Some people have arranged their summertime plans around Wireless happening. They've booked hotels. They might be coming from outside of London just for Wireless, and now all this is happening. Secondly, the government's got involved, not allowing him to travel XYZ, so that's a bit of a headache. And then thirdly, Pepsi have pulled out. No wonder they've cancelled the whole festival. I understand that there's more talent that they could have put as a headliner to try and like revamp the damage. But when Pepsi's pulled out, babes, they're out. They're not coming back. That, you know what I mean? Like, you'll have to do a lot of work to grab all Pepsi back because it's such a big brand.
Listen, that escalated quickly. They just announced that Kanye just raked in $33 million for his 2 comeback shows, and turned around and announced that he would be headlining the Wireless Festival in London. And Pepsi was supposed to be their main sponsor, and they just dropped out. So did other brands like PayPal. They said, baby, as long as Kanye is headlining, we will not be putting our money towards that festival. And I guess Pepsi and them other brands said, listen, y'all might want to play blind and deaf to Kanye's bullshit, but we're not. And we know the things that he said. And I guarantee you, some of them CEOs are Jewish. And you know they don't play the radio when it comes to that anti-Semitic stuff. And even with all the brands dropping out, the director of the Wireless Festival tried to come out and defend Kanye, saying that we should give hope and forgiveness, especially those that are suffering through mental illness. We need to be more understanding. Well, the Home Office, whoever that is, said, Matter of fact, now the festival is completely banned or canceled because the United Kingdom has said that Kanye can't even come over there.
Kanye and the Wireless situation is just so crazy because it's like, as someone who works in the entertainment scene and like within the music industry, yeah, you just know when a phone call has been made. You just know when a phone call has been made. Like, the thing about the music industry is very ego driven, and there's a lot of like sabotaging going on, and you always know when a sabotage move has been made. A phone call hasn't been made, it's in cahoots with investors, and then you start to see, there's always whispers, and then you start to see sponsors slowly pulling out. But in real time, this is what has destroyed the music industry. Apart from all the stuff with like the labels, yeah, being weird, like times changing and labels not having money and investment, a lot of big players are the real contributors as to why the music industry has crumbled. There's a lot of ego moves, and people just don't want to let go. People want to reign at the top. People want to stay at the top, and will do things like this to stop other people from progressing, because people underestimated Kanye's power. It's never been that people didn't like Kanye, and to be honest, Kanye has never been wrong in half of the things he said. It's just that his delivery was absolutely atrocious, but he's never been wrong in anything he said, and people underestimated how much he was actually liked. And so phone calls had to be made, because it's not possible. It's not possible for one concert to struggle to get ticket sales and for Kanye to excel. It was never going to fly. Honestly, and it has destroyed the industry. It's too many ego moves. People just don't want to see people doing well.
No, but guys, the UK can never have nice things, because imagine what could have been if we had seen Kanye West this summer. Because the saddest thing about this whole Kanye West and Wireless situation is that everybody wanted to know what Kanye West was going to do on that stage for 3 days straight. I guess we'll never know.
Fans right now are completely divided. Some are saying he crossed the line, actions have consequences. Others are saying this is cancel culture going too far. And then their fans were just like, we just wanted to enjoy the music. And honestly, the last group, they are the ones caught in the middle. If Wireless Festival is affected, this is not just about Kanye West. This affects other artists, event organizers, vendors, fans. We're talking about millions in losses and a huge cultural moment possibly being disrupted. So, where do we go from here? Because this situation forces us to ask some uncomfortable questions. Can you separate art from the artist? Where is the line between the speech and harm? Who decides what's acceptable? Kanye West is one of the most influential artists ever, but influence comes with responsibility. And once things go public, they don't stay in the music world anymore. But I want to hear from you. Do you think Kanye West should be banned? Do you think festivals should be affected by one artist? And do you think this is an accountability or cancel culture? Drop your thoughts in the comments. This is a real conversation. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.